Today, we're talking about something almost every UK household owns. It's in your bathroom, your living room, your car, your hallway. You spray it after cooking, after guests leave, after the dog walks through. You spray it to make the room feel clean. But here's the uncomfortable question. Is it actually clean? Or are you filling your home with invisible chemicals? Because while these products are marketed as fresh cotton, clean linen, and spring breeze, many of them release volatile organic compounds into the air you breathe, and most people have no idea what that really means. Tonight, we look at 10 of the most popular spray air fresheners in the UK, and what's really happening when you press that nozzle. Marketed as pure, airy, freshly washed linen, Febreze is one of the most recognizable air care brands in the UK. It claims to eliminate odors rather than just mask them, but when sprayed, it releases fragrance compounds and propellants into the air. Many spray air fresheners, including those from Febreze, contain fragrance blends made up of multiple undisclosed chemical components. Legally, companies can list these simply as parfum or fragrance. Inside that one word can be dozens, sometimes hundreds of compounds. Common fragrance components found across the industry include limonene and linalool. Limonene smells citrusy and clean, but when it reacts with ozone in indoor air, it can form formaldehyde, a known respiratory irritant, not in massive instant toxic doses, but in trace amounts that contribute to indoor air pollution. For people with asthma, even small increases in airborne irritants can trigger coughing, wheezing, or tightness in the chest. Fresh scent, hidden chemistry. Crisp linen. The name alone suggests purity, but aerosol sprays work by atomizing liquid into microscopic droplets suspended in the air. That mist doesn't disappear. It settles on surfaces, on furniture, on skin, and it's inhaled. Air wick sprays may contain solvents and fragrance carriers that allow scent to linger longer. Some fragrance stabilizers historically used in air care products have included phthalates, chemicals studied for potential endocrine disruption. Modern formulations have reduced or removed certain phthalates in Europe, but the broader issue remains. Fragrance chemistry is complex, and indoor air exposure is cumulative. You may only spray for 2 seconds, but in a sealed room, those particles remain suspended, especially in winter, especially with poor ventilation. Glade markets a clean linen scent that evokes sunlight and freshly dried sheets. But studies of common household air fresheners across brands have found that many emit measurable levels of volatile organic compounds. VOCs are gases released from certain solids or liquids. Some VOCs are harmless at low levels. Others can cause headaches, eye irritation, throat discomfort, dizziness in sensitive individuals. And here's the key point. Air fresheners do not remove pollutants. They add scent. If a room smells musty, the solution is ventilation, not perfume, because masking odor does not equal cleaning air. Ambipur promotes long-lasting fragrance and odor elimination technology, but like most sprays, it relies on propellants. Although CFCs were banned decades ago, modern aerosol propellants still release compressed gases into your home environment. Repeated exposure to fragranced aerosols in poorly ventilated spaces has been linked in some research to increased respiratory symptoms, particularly in children. It's not that one spray is dangerous, it's repeated exposure over years. That's where concern grows. Oust is marketed as a disinfecting odor eliminator. It feels like cleaning, it smells clinical, but when fragrance is combined with antimicrobial agents, you introduce another layer of chemical complexity. Some antimicrobial compounds used historically in household products have faced regulatory review over environmental persistence and microbiome disruption. Again, not illegal, but not always as simple as fresh. Indoor microbiomes, the natural bacteria in your environment, can be altered by heavy chemical use. Nutradol claims to neutralize odors rather than mask them, But even neutralizers rely on chemical interaction. Many air fresheners use cyclodextrins, molecules that trap odor particles. These are generally regarded as safe, but they are suspended in fragranced liquid carriers. And once aerosolized, inhalation exposure still occurs. People with fragrance sensitivity often report migraines, brain fog, sinus pressure, skin reactions. Not everyone, but enough that fragrance sensitivity is now recognized as a genuine issue. Floral scents often contain synthetic musks. Synthetic musks have been studied for their ability to bioaccumulate in human tissue. Again, not acute poisoning, but long-term low-level exposure. Indoor air quality experts often say the air inside your home can be more polluted than the air outside because it's trapped, and every spray adds to that load. Automatic sprays release bursts every few minutes, even when you're asleep, even when the room doesn't smell. This creates constant background exposure. Continuous fragrance release means continuous inhalation. For pets, especially birds, aerosolized chemicals can be particularly harmful because of their sensitive respiratory systems. Most owners never connect breathing issues in pets with room fragrance use. Pure. That word is powerful, but purity in scent does not mean purity in chemistry. When limonene interacts with indoor ozone, it can create secondary pollutants. These reactions can produce ultrafine particles, tiny enough to enter deep into lungs. You can't see them, you can't smell them, but they exist. Extra strength means stronger fragrance compounds, stronger binding agents, more intense scent projection. And that intensity is what many people associate with cleanliness. But strength doesn't mean safer. In fact, the stronger the fragrance, the higher the airborne concentration. Today, we didn't expose illegal products. We exposed assumptions. That fresh equals safe. That clean scent equals clean environment. That if it's on a supermarket shelf, it must improve your home. Sometimes, it just makes it smell better. And the air you breathe, that's a different story.